Indulgence here in the studio. Looking
Yay!
Yay! And they're here to talk about Project Nunway that's happening this weekend. So I'd like to welcome, without further ado, Sisters Baba Ganesh and Sister Roma. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marilyn.
So tell me a little bit about well, Roma, why don't you start? Tell me a little bit about the history of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
Well, we will be celebrating our 36th year at Easter, 2014. And we started basically as a guerrilla theater sort of street group, shock value, and it turned into something bigger than I think anyone ever imagined. I mean, the reaction that we got from people when we went out the first time in 1979 was overwhelming, and then eventually when people started to get sick and dying in the community, the sisters responded right away intelligently and compassionately, and actually had the first ever safe sex fundraiser and AIDS fundraiser, and did the first ever safe sex pamphlet. So we've been on the forefront of the war against HIV and AIDS since our inception.
And how long have you been?
I have been a sister for over 25 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and I moved to San Francisco, and 2 years later I met the group and joined, and it completely changed my life. I love it.
Excellent, excellent. I vaguely, because I was in high school when you guys started up, so you guys have been on the San Francisco youth radar for since the inception. So
right.
You guys are amazing. So Baba Ganesh, tell me a little bit about your trajectory of sisterhood.
Well, I've been a sister for 5 years, and I got my calling at the Sisters 30th Anniversary Exhibition at YBCA, where I'm the Director of Community Engagement. And prior to that, I'd never thought of becoming a sister, but once we started to do the research about what the sisters were, and more importantly, once I got connected personally to the sisters, I realized that not only did I love this group, but I'm one of them. So in the process, I joined the sisters and came up with Project Nunway 5 years ago as part of the 30th then anniversary exhibition. And Project Nunway is a fabulous annual fundraiser that was inspired by the late cinema master Federico Fellini. And Nunway is where sisters are paired with designers to create a look made from recycled materials and based on a theme.
Wow.
And this year's theme is Dissident Futures, and it's happening on November 2nd, so the sisters are going to queer the future for you.
Wow,
of YBCA.
that sounds amazing. Now, I remember watching, there was an episode of Project Runway where they asked them to design, they asked the designers to design for drag, drag performers, and they didn't get it. Only one of them kind of got it, and that was with a lot of help from Sister Varla. But the others, they couldn't quite. It's like they just couldn't do it. So
I love that episode, though. I wanted to be on that so bad. I'm a huge Project Runway fan, and LeMay was on that from San Francisco. Bit. I didn't swear, I said bit. I've been told I can't swear, which is really hard for me if you know me at all. So I'm really going to try and clean up my act.
Very excited about it, but like there's the one guy who had the thing that was all shredded, and then LeMay's looked like he'd been rolled up in a carpet, and then another. They were just like all over the place, and they had some fierce drag queens.
Fierce queens were on
it was
that
like,
show.
What is your problem? Design something fierce and call it a day.
Well, I saw Varla at the Folsom Street Fair after that episode aired, and she told me that she literally held the hand of that designer and basically designed her look herself.
Well, that's the only way. That's how she got a good one.
But that's what's perfect about Nunway, though, because we get paired with these incredibly creative designers who all get it. I mean, these people are down. Yeah. They are so creative. I don't have that creative gene. I have to admit, I'm an off-the-rack kind of girl. I really am. I can't sew. So I'm impressed by the ideas that they come up with, and the designs are just amazing. And my designer, Tiffy Tart, is crazy. And so talented, and she moves so fast. I went for a fitting last night, and she's got this cute little basic, it's like I don't want to give too much away because it's so fabulous, you have to come see it. But we decided to go black and white and give her a real futuristic nun look. And she's got a nice base dress down that I could actually see myself wearing just as
Right.
normal.
Uh-huh.
But she's going to add accessories and a
She's gonna-
headpiece, and
She's gonna pimp your dress right.
she's going to pimp it out, baby. And she's going to be busy all week long doing that. It's going to be incredible.
You know, the incredible story about Nunway is about the designers and the community we make, because having done this year after year, it's about creating these really special, magical collaborations between a sister and a designer. And then as the year goes, we see that team get bigger. And then since the theme is futures this year, you know, a team has grown into including like robotics or lots of lights. So it becomes this platform for serious inspiration. And the designers are kind of the other heroes in all of this, because in the 5 years we've been doing this, we've picked up a lot of independent designers, a lot of makers from the Burning Man community. And the amazing thing is, with this new creative class of volunteers and supporters we're getting, is that they're not going away as each year as each year happens. They come for the next year. So we're really building a beautiful base of creative and artistic supporters.
So what have been some of the themes? This is your 5th year, right? So
Yeah.
what have been some of the other themes?
Well, the first one was Ritual and Redemption. The second one was a lot of fun because it was Noel Noir, or the Black Christmas, and so the sisters were reinterpreting the holiday.
Okay.
And last year, I would have to say that was visually dazzling because we did it at the AIDS Grove at Golden Gate Park, and the theme was Flora. So it was basically this sublime kind of rose parade in heels in the middle of Golden Gate
Yeah,
Park.
it was incredible.
See, I would be a sister if I could be in a fashion show where you wore over-the-top fashions, because I live for stuff like that. I absolutely live for stuff like that. You're listening to 89.5 FM, KPOO, San Francisco. We're in the studio with a couple of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. We've got Sister Baba Ganesh and Sister Roma here talking about Project Nunway, which is this Saturday. Where is it happening?
At Yerba Buena Center for the Arts at Third
Okay.
Admission.
And who are some of the designers this year?
Some of the designers include, as Roma mentioned, Tiffy Tart, who's an amazing costumer of various circuses and other arts kinds of projects. We have Greg Angelo Herrera, again from another circuit, Velocity Circus. We have some of our very own. We have our kind of official sister seamstress who's designing for Jane Weedland, created this beautiful captain's
that's
outfit.
right, Jane couldn't be here today.
Yeah, so they're, and Jared Garza, who's been a past producer and the proprietor of Brick Rack Clothing, and I believe he was voted Best Local Designer by San Francisco Weekly. So there's a lot of local love. And as you know, there's not a lot of fashion activities that happens in San Francisco. I mean, certainly New York and Los Angeles have their own scenes. So when a show like this comes up, even with its premise, we tend to get a lot of love and attention from the fashion community, just simply because there's hunger for fashion events.
Okay,
So.
and so are your models just sisters, or are they neophytes, or who all is modeling for you guys this year?
It's just sisters. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
That's one of the things that's interesting about it, because this really brings together the order. There's so many of us, and there's so many different events that we do. We're sort of spread out, and you're lucky if you
like
can get
Hunky
more than 10 of
Cheeses
us
and-
together at a time. Easter is one of those times, and Project Nunway is another time when we all come out. You will see the whole order practically will be represented, and that's really fun for people.
And the cool thing is, sisters from Los Angeles are coming because they just debuted Project Nunway Los Angeles, because Nunway mania has spread, and over the last few years, there have been Nunways in various cities where there are sister houses. So Los Angeles had their debut. I believe Dallas just did their second one. Orlando did one. Portland did one. And next year, it will likely go to Las Vegas, Atlanta, and Minneapolis.
So you have convents in all of these cities? You've got the sisters?
Worldwide,
Yes.
including
Worldwide.
Uruguay, Berlin, Paris,
Really?
London. Yeah.
That is incredible.
Yeah, when I
that.
joined 25 years ago, there were just really basically 6 of us who were active at the time in San Francisco.
Look what they started.
And I've watched the order just grow and grow. It's like Starbucks. Like we're everywhere. It's fantastic. I was just in Berlin, and I was hosted by the Berlin sisters there, and they were wonderful tour guides. It's nice to have people in almost every city that you visit that are your sisters that will show you around and know what's going on. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. And I do know that the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, it's not simply guys, there's also women who do it here in the city.
Yeah, Sisters, we're everyone. While it started with queer men, it really is about everybody who's called to do the work of a sister. And to me, the one thing we do have in common, as diverse as we all are, is a particular kind of personality. We're all queerdos. So whether or not we're same-sex, gender-loving, or not, or male-identified males, it doesn't matter. It really is, are you queerdo enough to hang with us?
Yeah, sisters are born. We really are. We're born and you answer a calling, and if you feel it, come to us. Come, let's do it. You can't not do it.
Excellent. So for our people who are thinking about going, it's happening this Saturday. And what can they expect? Is it just a fashion show? Or
No,
pets,
it is a festival. There's 3 components to it, and let me just say that I'm excited to say that the fashion show itself is sold out.
Darn it.
It's sold out, but there are lots of different ways to see the looks. The first thing that we want to do is invite our public to a free altar building workshop with the sisters.
Ooh,
where we'll do, we're creating an Angel of the Future Dead. It's going to be this 20-foot blinged out angel where we're going to help create it from 4:20 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Yerba Buena, and that's free. Right. And then the fashion show is from 7 to 9. But 9 p.m. to midnight is the lovely after party, and for very little money, you can get in to see the show, because the show is sold out, but you don't want to miss the after party.
Hosted by Pandora Box.
And hosted by Pandora Box.
From RuPaul's Drag Race. And we also have Honey Mahogany performing.
Ooh.
That's right.
And so Honey is going to do a special live performance. You know that she's got pipes. She's got a golden voice.
Yeah.
She is going to stun the crowd with this
She's stunning
performance.
and she's talented.
And she's
so
she
beautiful.
annoys me.
And me too, girl. Me too.
She's going to reprise I Feel Love.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Don't give it away.
Oh, God. Okay,
no, she's going to kill it. Kill it.
Okay. So if they wanted to get tickets to the after party, or to if they want to get tickets to the after party, where would they go?
They would just come to the door. It really is a very, very low price.
Okay.
And so we just try to make it available so people can see the Nunway looks.
Okay, and the door again is where?
The door is at 3rd and Mission.
Okay.
YBC is at 701 Mission.
Okay.
And so just
So what's
be there.
with the waterfall and everything?
Yeah. We're the Art Center.
Excellent. Well, you guys, so you've got the altar, the free altar. You've got Project Nunway. You've got the after party. And then if people wanted to just to find out more about the sisters, and because I know there are people out there who there are sisters in waiting, people who are just trying to figure out how they got the calling, and they don't know how to break in,
Well, you can always approach a sister. We're always welcoming to